flight's at 11:25 to Newark, Red Eye.
Just don't go switching mine out with yours
We never stand
and blame it on me.
Yeah,
with our
yeah, you go through the GSA free.
That's mine.
I mean,
Yeah.
if we have to wait for 30 seconds.
Take it off, yes.
Her monitor's coming flat. She messed around with it too much. I don't need your help unless you know the answers on King of Thrones or whatever it is.
This is like a little family charge.
Yeah.
My glasses and my book, and I made those. And my glasses.
You touch it.
Actually, I'm not going to.
Had glasses and tribute to
No.
Wow, what a small amount.
It's just but they were.
I've never been so
Or just to be at the conference. Yeah, I just never
Do you want me to share with you?
Beaver process.
I mean, if I surf,
Did you?
I've never surfed, so I'm sure that would be
Oh, thank you.
surfing would be cool.
Yeah. It's packed in there.
Never got into those kind of things.
It's for the Title I schools.
No, I think scuba diving would be really
And the liaison staff.
They love it.
Richard Garcia said nice things about you.
We've been to Cayman, but not Little Cayman. Little Cayman. Gotta go.
He has to wait.
I think we should be starting.
All right. Well, good evening, and welcome to the August 23rd regular meeting of the St. Vrain Valley Board of Education. If you would, please join us in saying the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. And Amory, would you please call the roll?
Yes, thanks, Bob. Mr. Aarons.
Here.
Miss Lammers.
Here.
Mr. Martyr.
Present.
Miss Pierce.
Here.
Miss Seacrest.
Here.
Miss Cisco here, and Mr. Smith.
Here. Thank you very much. And did we have any addendums or changes to the agenda?
No, we did not.
I know that we have some visitors from St. Vrain Healthy Kids, and we'll look forward to that in a minute. Anyone else? No one else signed up for a...
No.
All right, great. Well, again, thank you for being here. I did want to make a couple of opening comments tonight. It being the first board meeting of the now that school's actually started. I actually thought there'd be more than 5 or 6 people here when I prepared these notes. We've made it a custom from time to time to read the mission statement. And we did that last month, and I think that's important. And last month I also welcomed back the students, parents, and teachers, and so on. But you know, I don't know that I've ever read the vision statement of the district from this in this forum, and I thought it would be worthwhile to do that, and then look at a couple of ways in which we're realizing that vision statement. And again, I promise I won't do this every month, but we have a light agenda tonight. So the vision statement is to be an exemplary school district which inspires and promotes high standards in learning and student well-being in partnership with parents, guardians, and the community. And we are realizing, in fact, that mission statement in any number of ways, and probably we could spend the rest of the evening talking about how we're doing it. But I wanted to give you just a taste of the ways in 2017, 2018 that we're realizing that. First and foremost, HR and the district, our reputation for teaching and learning environment, creating a teaching and learning environment is such that we've hired over 200 teachers at, by the way, a salary school, which, at a salary schedule, which by Colorado's standards is decent, although keep in mind Colorado ranks 50th of 50 states, but still we're near the top in Colorado. We've welcomed back more students again this year, and we continue to grow. We have more students that attend, more kids enrolling in AP and honors classes, more participation in extracurricular activities. There was a Discovery Ed piece this week I hope everyone saw, titled How St. Vrain Schools Became a Landmark STEM District. We've become a nationally recognized destination district for STEM. We're beginning our second year, is that right, Don, of P-TECH? And tomorrow night we're having the groundbreaking for a national model innovation center that will serve all the schools of the district. We've embarked on another successful year of Leadership St. Vrain, whereby community leaders deepen their understanding of the district's mission, our technology and digital learning plan, our construction projects, operations, and so on. And I want to thank publicly Michelle Sulik of Elevations Credit for serving as our parent liaison this year. We will be holding 8 community meetings this fall in the next several weeks that embody what Jamie Vollmer, who wrote Why Schools Can't Do It Alone, called The Great Conversation, and I think that these community meetings embody that partnership with community. Well underway, and we'll hear about this tonight from Todd, is over $120 million of projects, including new elementary school in Frederick, a new PK-8 in Eller and Erie, enhancements to schools across the district and the Innovation Center. And finally, we continue to add, and particularly because of Don's efforts, continue to add and deepen our business relationships with organizations across the school district. And how many, Don, do we have now?
Oh, man, I've been
Yeah.
in my time last.
So, when you read a vision statement like that, you think it's kind of esoteric, but that's the reality. We are becoming an exemplary school district if we are not already, and we will continue to work on that. So I just thought with the beginning of the school year, it would be worthwhile to look at those things. So thank you for your forbearance. With that, then, we'll ask our visitors up to the mic, and we have Christina Edstrom from St. Vrain Healthy Kids. So welcome.
And
Good evening. I'm Jody Potma, and I have 2 children at Flagstaff Academy Charter School.
And I'm Christina Edstrom. I have 2 kids at Eagle Crest Elementary.
Okay, so we're going to talk about St. Vrain Healthy Kids and who we are and what we're doing and how we're supporting the school district. About a year ago, our group met with Shelley Allen to ascertain how we could support and promote our district's student wellness and they reformed St. Vrain Healthy Kids. We are a parent-driven wellness group, and we partner with the school district. Our organization has quickly grown and we now have over 300 members. So what have we done? We've gathered community input and created a forum for discussion about student wellness through 3 potluck gatherings. We have harvest days, and you have a brochure that we are sharing up there that's sponsored by Boulder County Farmers Market. And this showcases our local agriculture in our schools and encourages kids to branch out and eat new vegetables. And we're working on educating the community about sugary beverages, and that's in conjunction with Boulder County Public Health. So we educate St. Vrain families and the wider community about the harmful effects of sugar and sugary beverages. with a sugar grant from the Colorado Health Foundation. We have sugar panels, and the first one will be on the 30th of this month at the Longmont Library. We will be showing the Fed Up documentary by Lori David and Kate Couric. And then we will have Dr. Heather Isaacson, and she will be answering questions from parents if they have any about the harmful effects of sugar. We'll be working with local restaurants to educate servers about not offering sugary beverages, though parents can still order them. We don't want to take that right away. And then we're going to have sugar information tables. And we would set up a table like at the farmer's market and just visually show how much sugar is in a Coke or in a Fanta or Sprite or something like that so they can visually see that. And then we are adding 4 new schools to the Harvest Day program, thanks to Shelley. We currently work with Flagstaff Academy and Eagle Crest. And last year we did 6 Harvest Days. And this year we are adding Niagara, Rocky Mountain Elementary, Sanborn, and then Shelley has a meeting with Thunder Valley on Monday. I don't know why that's happening. So we will have 13 events this year, and we bring our local farms in, like Olin Farms, Aspen Moon. We want to do Full Circle and Tui and Sons. They're all local farms here, and we bring the farmers in, and they really have a fun time. And then hopefully we'll help elementary school cafeterias to educate students on how to use the salad bar. We've gotten feedback that younger students find it intimidating and challenging, and staff are also concerned about waste. They end up throwing things away, so if we educate kids about eating, how to use it, hopefully they will. And we want to act as a resource to help build wellness teams in every school, made up of parents, teachers, students, principal, and cafeteria managers. Because that is what we do. Thank you
Thank
for having
you.
us today.
Oh, very good. Any questions? Well, thank you very much. I really was unaware of all that, so we appreciate the update, and thank you for coming tonight.
Thank you for having us.
All right.
And, you know, Bob, I tell you, thank you for meeting with me the other day, too. I appreciated the opportunity to learn more about it. And I also see Shelley in the audience, and I want to thank you as well for the excellent work that you do. And I remember several years ago compared to today and just how hard you've worked and how much progress we've made. So, fine example for others, but great partnership, and thanks to all of you. Thanks.
All right. With that, then, we'll move on to agenda item 5. If there's only one under 5, then is it 5.1 or is it just 5? So at any rate, it's a philosophical question we'll ask an English major. But the 2016 bond report. And Todd, welcome. And and I should have said the newlywed Tom.
Newly.
I suppose everyone knows that.
They do now, yeah.
Floor.
Yeah, that was the intent. Yeah.
Well, good. Well, thank you, Dr. Dad and ladies and gentlemen of the board. Tonight I put together an update really from November to today, today through the school year. And then you'll see an overview of the entire bond. So it kind of captures those 3 areas. You can see the progression and what the plans are for the future. So as mentioned before, we have 121 million contracted in construction currently. Some has been completed, some is under construction. By summer of 2018, we'll have an additional 335,000 square feet of building opening up. And on this, we have a team of 6 project managers. We're working with 8 different design firms and 6 different contractors. So just a brief fun facts of where we're at so far. As you know, we started the design for the PKA pre-bond, but since then there's a little video of what it looks like starting in May to today. So you can see the progression from May, and then we actually take a snapshot every couple of weeks to see how the progression is going. So you can see the foundation going in, you see the gyms, the school wing, and then on the right side of the screen, that's actually Erie High School. You can see where the site abuts. And it's interesting, you'll see the last photo is a snapshot of it. And even the last couple of weeks, it has multiplied in size. And the other project, which we started pre-election, was the elementary school. And that's started about the same time. And you'll see the progression on it as well. It started right about towards the end of March and out of Windham Hill. You'll see the south side's the gym or the bottom of the page, and then towards the top's the classroom wing. And then towards the end of the slide, you'll actually see the bus loop and then the neighborhood street being developed.
Todd, is this a new prototype, this 27?
It's not a prototype, no. It's we'll look at it for elementary 28, the floater now, but this was pretty site specific due to some site constraints. But if we can use some of the aspects, we will.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Are you asking if it's a consistent model?
Correct.
Oh,
Correct.
no, it's not. Yeah.
It's a new model. That's what I'm asking.
Yes, yeah. it
Better
is.
question.
There you
That's
go.
He's right. Yes. It's a new model.
It is.
That's
correct.
what I want to know. Thanks.
Yes, sure. And so next you'll see this is actually the list of the 121 million that either has been completed or will be completed by summer of 18. So as you may know, the Niwot Elementary parking improvements has been completed and going out and visiting that. That's working very well. Blue Mountain Eagle Crest, we did a 6 classroom addition in Innovation Center and then did a secure entrance. Meade High and Erie High, it's adding 20 classrooms, and in that 20 classrooms there's a putting science in a compartment, so it's really shaking up the entire school, which is everyone's real excited about. And actually Erie High, we moved up the schedule a year to really, we have some efficiencies in those 2 schools, so we captured that with the contractors and architects. Innovation Center we'll see tomorrow, but it's underway. And then also this last summer we tackled all the academies. So Flagstaff, Carbon Valley, Imagine Charter, Twin Peaks, and then Aspen Ridge is in design. They're about half done, and we'll start construction on that in January. And then St. Ray Montessori School, we're working with them to develop a future plan, kind of a master plan for their campus. So. And then the other piece that we put in,
So the Montessori School, is that part of the Innovation Center tract of land or something else?
no, it's a separate piece of land. Yeah, the Innovation Center is 10 acres, but the proposed or could be Montessori's on another piece of land.
It's right next to it, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was,
There's a city park between the two.
but the district owns it?
Yes.
We actually purchased it from Boulder County for, I think it was like $130,000. The county commissioners gave us
A really good deal on it, as long as there was an agricultural component, and so we were able to accommodate that, and so yeah, it should be exciting for Montessori.
Great, thank you.
And so next you'll see this is what we have planned for this coming up school year. So from really now to summer of 18, we'll encumber another $26 million worth of projects. And you'll see the list there. We're going to start the Niwot High School design. That's some library rework, building preservation. Silver Creek High School is underway. That's a similar to Meade and Erie. That's a science room addition and compartmentalized. Lyons Elementary is a little bit of little addition, and then a rework of some of their building that needs it. So CDC, actually, we're meeting to figure out, there's the Innovation Center there that's moving out, and we're working with the staff to really find the vision of the building and create a plan for moving forward for that building. So
Yeah, that's a Warren.
yeah,
That building is a maze.
it is complicated, yeah. And you'll see the next 4 between Fall River, Alpine, Legacy, Prairie Ridge. That's similar to the Blue Mountain Eagle Crest work, so that'll be the same work there. Be a secure entry. The classroom additions won't be as much. Fall River is going to have 2 classrooms, but besides that, it'll be the same as Eagle Crest, Blue Mountain. And then we're going to take on the district-wide elementary cameras. So we're going to finish, we have the high schools done, middle school, and then that's the next bond item is to take on the all the elementaries. And then the last one we're completing over summer will be Niwot Elementary, the secure entrance. So, any questions on that list? Or
So when will the Silver Creek edition be completed?
summer of 18. So they're going to start here in,
Wow.
yeah. Yeah, they're about 3/4 of the way through design, and they've got a contractor on board, so really ready to go.
And that will that result in, you know this question is coming, science classrooms of similar quality to Meade, the new construction at Meade and Erie?
Yes, we actually took that model, and it's very similar.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Thanks.
Yeah, it's got the same layout. And yeah, so it is.
Silver Creek or Erie?
So Erie and Silver Creek, yeah.
Yeah.
So. So next you'll see the overall bond expenditures. So the column on the left is actually what the bond was passed for, $260 million. You'll see bond construction out of the 260 is $239 million is just for the true construction of the bond. There's $19 million for inflation, just due to this market we're in. That was part of the bond we put in there to help protect ourselves. And then there's $1.9 million in environmental, so any asbestos or soil mitigation we have to do. The other funding column you see on the right, that the $22 million, that is the bond premium when the bonds were sold. And then we've actually added almost $3 million in cash and lieu dollars. So to help pay for the road infrastructure, really at the K-8 and the new elementary. And then you'll see there's about $600,000 we put in from capital reserve to help really at Meade High and Erie High. And actually that was for portable installation. So you'll see at the bottom we have really $285 million for the program. To date, we've spent $121 million or have $121 million encumbered. With projected, with the rest of this year, another $26 million that we will encumber. So really by the time November, our bond passed to summer of 18, we'll have, in the neighborhood of $148 million encumbered for construction. So, any questions on that? No? Great. And so this is just a summary of feeders, kind of where we've allocated so far. And you'll see, as we promised in the beginning, the higher numbers in Erie, that's from the K-8, and then Erie High School. Meade is from Meade High School. And then district-wide, that's the Innovation Center. So that's underneath the district-wide.
Now these are to date, these aren't the total bond.
No, these are just to date, yeah. Yeah, this is money spent to date.
Todd, is the
Yeah.
academy number the charter schools?
It is, yes.
Very good.
Yeah, it's all everything that's been done to date.
So that's a separate number. That academy number is the charter number.
It's all the charters
the
rolled
combined
up in one.
combined.
Yes. Yeah. And then you'll see on the right column, that's other funding. And so the bond premium, we went through and looked at, when Brian and I put it together, we were asked to take some parts out of the bond and challenge really come up with a pretty lean number. And so what we did is we took that $22 million and looked at some of the projects that we couldn't get at that time, and then we started adding some of them back. So I just want to show a summary by feeder of what we added back in to show that. And then actually the next slide here is our proposed bond proceeds summary. So out of the bond premium, this is the list of all the projects that we're looking to add back in, or that we have added back in. You'll see first on the list is the Blue Mountain Eagle Crest Prairie Ridge Alpine. We put some money back in for the Innovation Center. That's your innovation space that you see at Blue Mountain and Eagle Crest. At Elementary 27 in the original bond, it was a 3-round school, and it's now going to open as a 4-round school. So we put money to capture those additional classrooms. And then we're also working with the developer to develop the neighborhood streets. And so part of that's that, and then we have a reimbursement agreement that we're finalizing to split the cost of those streets. The PK8, it's the same thing. We added a intensive needs program there. And so that increased the square footage of the building. And then it also, we are expanding County Road. I don't know if you've been out there, but County Road is actually in the process of shifting over. So that's what that's for. Meade High School, they're done this week with some new bleachers. So that was a major feat and accomplishment. It looks great.
Got about 1 week left before the foot.
I know.
I've been
Yeah.
out there going.
Yeah, we both have been crossing fingers and everything else. And then, so in Elementary 28, the future elementary, we're going to propose to put the 4th round on that as well. Erie High School, looking at putting new bleachers there to help we'll capture what we are at Meade. Main Street, when we went through the bond.
Sorry, just a
Yes.
question.
Yeah.
For the elementary 27 4th round and the elementary 28th 4th round, are they both about the same amount? And is the difference due to the additional work on road and water development?
Yeah, the difference there is the street work.
So
Yeah.
they're 1.3 apiece
Yeah, so
for the 4th round.
Correct. The pure addition's 1.3 million. Yeah.
Thanks.
Sure. And then at Main Street, we have some indoor air qualities there, so we hope to address that. So that's what that dollar amount is there. At Meade L, that Meade L is going to get a pretty healthy remodel. I wouldn't call it remodel. It's really a flip around of the building. We haven't finalized the plans of what it's going to look like, but in the end, there'll be a wing taken down, a new wing built, and to do it right, we're going to put a little more into that, make sure we capture the capacity that we need for out there. So.
Is the trade-off still going to be 6 additional classrooms at the end of the day?
Yes, yeah.
Taking out 6, putting in 12, and ending up to 6?
So there'll be a net add of 6, yeah.
And does that address reconfiguring some of the existing classrooms that are just small, like too small? There's some weird sizing in there.
Yeah, so as you walk in to the left, the classrooms you're referring to, that it does include remodeling that area. So, yeah, the goal is when we're done is to have a classroom per the ed spec.
For the
Not have the new classrooms be really adequate and then the old ones just left alone.
So it would just be consistent throughout the school, as consistent as possible.
Yeah, as possible. I mean, that's what we're just now starting to look at and really look into how you take part of it down, add, and then redo what's left to make it all fit and meld together and
keep them operational.
yeah, and
Yeah,
keep
all-
everyone there and moving.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, we're open for business.
Yes. Yeah.
And I just have a question on the roads. Excuse me. Obviously, this is probably a silly question, but with the road expansion, is that all geared for us, or is it state, town, and will we see any money back from the state or the town?
Not from the state or town. Part of the annexation process was we are actually obligated, when we develop that land, to widen our side of the road and to create that XL and decel lane, at least at the K8. So that was really our obligation. And it does help because it creates a safe place for buses and parents and students to really get off the road and enter the site. It's a little different at the...
Sorry, but John, as we've spoke, we are installing a water line
Right.
for the city, and they are reimbursing us for that.
Correct. Thank you. Yeah, I was high hopes.
Oh, yeah, the water line there is agreement in place for already, yeah.
I was just wondering on the road, but thank you for the
Yeah.
water. I need some water right now.
At Longmont High, it's the same thing we're looking at doing there. We've got some aging HVAC equipment. So really helping that come up to standard really to where it should be today. And then we've got some failing roofing on a couple of schools. So there's an opportunity to really capture those before we have a bigger issue down the road here pretty soon. So
Which schools?
Prairie Ridge is number 1 and Niwot L. So. And then you'll see a line item for, it says satellite bus terminal. So as we were talking here in the last couple months, as we grow, the fleet's growing, and it's a challenge around here finding how we manipulate all the pieces of equipment. So that's set aside to figure out how we can either expand an area or find another area in the district that we can relieve some of the pressure in the different within the fleets. So
And you've allocated that to the nearest $100?
actually, yes. it balances out in the end.
Actually, Dick, we've talked about
Yeah.
a couple of different areas, and we have put numbers to it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the difference between accounting and measuring, so.
Fair enough.
Correct. The next item there, you'll see skyline, and that's some building preservation items that we're looking at it for both exterior and interior pieces of the building. Niwot High, same thing. We're looking at helping some aging exterior improvements, and then interior as well. And then the Lions Middle Senior Auditorium. When we initially put the plan together, it's a challenging job as far as where we're going to put the auditorium, how we're going to put it in. So this is really going to help us capture the best option or opportunity of where it's going to go, because it, as you've seen the school, there's really no good place to fit it. So this will help us put it in the right spot and hopefully make it big enough for the community and what the school is hoping for. So.
But there was a plan for expanding the auditorium under the original funding.
Correct, there currently is.
And this is just being able to do it even better because of the savings we realized.
Correct. This is going to allow us to do it right. I'll say, I mean, not that it wasn't right before, but this will allow us really to make an auditorium for what the community's looking for. It'd be pretty tight before. It'd be nice and it'd be what it needs to be, but this will make it what it needs to be.
Thank you.
Yeah. So in that's all I had for the bond update. I don't know if there's any questions or comments.
Questions or comments from any board members?
Well, I just have a comment on the quality of construction. I mentioned that in our last meeting. But the quality of construction on the work that your department completed at Eagle Crest and Blue Mountain, it's really excellent. The additions fit within the flow of the building. If you didn't know what it looked like before, you'd have no idea that you were in these great new classrooms. And the rooms themselves have the updated equipment. The LCD projectors are current generation, right up against the wall, so you don't get shadows, and nice light in the buildings. It was a wonderful job, and I just the quality of I guess I would say the building itself is now again worthy of the quality of education experience we provide for our kids. So thank you very much.
Yep. Thank you for that.
Yeah, I would piggy. That's exactly. And Dick probably said it better than I could. But I mean, the facilities really. I read the vision statement, and they really embody that vision statement to be exemplary and to inspire kids. And everything's just done first class. And it just you could put these schools any place in the country, and you'd be proud of them.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I give you guys credit both for the quality and having grown up on a construction site, I have a little bit of idea about what it takes to coordinate putting up a few walls and how you do this. I don't know. That's great. It's great stuff. Yes, ma'am.
I just have, and I know Todd, we talked, well, I guess 2 comments. The first thing I want to mention is that Todd and Brian were at the Finance and Audit Committee meeting this week. And so that committee did review the bond's progress as well. And we're very impressed with the amount of work that had been completed thus far. And at that point, and this is something that Todd and Brian have already heard, but I remember, Don, when we were at the groundbreaking for the Erie Pre-K 8, you talked about promising to the community, making promises to the community, and now that those were being fulfilled. And that's really what kind of I think about when we cover all of this, is that there was a recommendation to the Board of Education to place a bond on the ballot, and we fully supported that. And then we did go out and ask our community to vote yes. And now Todd and Brian and everyone who's involved in these schools are making sure that those commitments and promises are being upheld. And not only are they being upheld, but many of those projects are being moved forward. There's additional money being added to some of those to ensure that they're done the very best way that they can be done. And all of it is done, of course, with fiscal responsibility in mind, as well as absolutely what's best for students and their education. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you for that.
No, that's a great overview. Thanks so much.
I have
Yeah.
one quick
All right.
request. This is terrific information. As Joey said, this is the evidence that we are fulfilling our commitment and our promises to our community and our district residents about for their support of the bond in 2016. Is there some regular notice that schools can get that they can pass along to their families about the individual progress at the various locations? I think the communication piece is key to demonstrating the fulfillment of our obligations to our community for the bond program, which is stellar, obviously, in terms of the financial accountability as well as the construction and timing. But I'm wondering what the schools can provide to their students and families in terms of the details of their locations. You don't have to tell me exactly, but I think that's an important piece of our bond program.
It is, and actually, we just recognized it at Skyline, I think it was last week. We're working with Heidi and the admin there to put out a publication on what they're getting, not only in the bond, but then what they get, for the facility as a whole, and help the community understand what the impact is. So, yeah, I won't say that in every school we've done that, but we did recognize that actually just last week in a meeting that that's something really to start pushing out there.
Some
really
sort
by
of
community.
short newsletter for each school to have an update about their facility and the timeline, if you will, and the details of the projects at each location. I think that'll cut down on questions from staff and parents and kids, what's happening and when's it going to happen, that kind of, just something very brief that the schools can
Truthfully,
disseminate.
Debbie, that's a great idea, and Todd's being a little bit modest, but because the reality is every project, we have the principal come to our meetings, we update them on everything that's going on. We probably haven't pushed it to that level of getting that communication out, but we sure can. That's a great way to do that. We've tried to work on our webpage, but to be honest with you, things go pretty fast. That's not a good excuse, but it probably doesn't get updated as much as it should, I guess. So, but getting that information out is probably a good idea.
A brief little paragraph or two for each location and at regular intervals.
Yeah.
And that you combine all of that, and it's a wonderful example of how we're fulfilling those commitments to our community.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Actually, we'll assign that to them.
Yeah.
That's good.
Put it on their task list, right?
Yeah. More work for the communications department. Sorry, Matt.
Oh, no, that's the principal's doing that.
The principal. Well, maybe that's what we need. Maybe
we'll
a little bit of support.
We'll do it together.
You'll figure it out. Thanks.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks very much. Great report.
Great.
We
Thank
really
you.
appreciate it. Well done.
Thank you, Todd.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. We have 4 consent items this evening. 6.1 is approval of the Apex Homeschool Enrichment Program rental payment. 6.2, approval of the raw water fee payment to the City of Longmont. 6.3, approval of request to grant exceptions to staff ethics, conflict of interest, board policy, GBEA. And 6.4, approval of the fleet truck purchases. Does anyone wish to pull any of those?
Bob, I'd like some additional information on the Apex Home School Enrichment Program.
Sure, that'd be fine. Brian?
Dick, what we've done here is, presently Apex is in 3 locations. Life Bridge, Vine Life, and Rocky Mountain Christian out in Firestone. Trying to get the name straight. But the Life Bridge program, because they are rebuilding their church, they've said that we can't be a part of that program over there. We can't hold Apex in that church. So we asked Rocky Mountain if we could move it out there, and that's what we've done. We moved it out there for that program. So we're moving it into Rocky Mountain, and so that program will be twice the size that it is today, and that's what this is for.
And so what is the $145,530 buy?
Space, rental space.
It's a rental payment.
It is, yes.
For space.
Yep.
And that's part of our support of the homeschool program.
That is correct, yes.
And is that a similar rental that we previously paid to Life Bridge?
It was half, actually, because only half the program was at Life Bridge. We took that part and combined it with Rocky Mountain.
So the total amount of funds allocated are similar?
They are, yes.
Okay, thanks.
No, good questions.
I have a question. Is there a specific date that covers? I noticed in the memo that there wasn't a date, it just wasn't specific. Is that from day 1 of school till the last day of school, or how is that covered?
The dates are in there, and yeah, we have it until the last day of school, if you want to say it that way.
So I show it as, I'm sorry, I don't have any additional information other than the memo. So I'm not seeing contracts or anything like that.
Yeah.
So all I'm showing is that it's for the school year of 2017-18.
Right.
So it'd basically be the first day of school to the last day of school.
That is correct.
Is that what we're looking
Yes.
at? Okay, and then their rental agreement, I guess, that's between Rocky Mountain and Apex? Or is it Rocky Mountain and
St. Vrain.
St. Vrain?
Yes.
Okay, and then I guess the 145, that covers any incidentals or anything that they, any mishaps or whatever that looks like.
Yeah, it has cleaning in there and some
Okay.
incidental kinds of
Okay.
things, that kind of stuff.
I just wasn't sure on the details, the breakdown of it, so that's
Yeah,
what I was
fair
looking
enough.
for. Okay.
Yeah.
And I have another question also. The Apex, again, sticking with that, is the rental for staff or is it for participation by the students?
It is strictly for space. The rental money is strictly for space. We are renting.
They are
Classrooms.
classrooms. I just was wondering how many are participating in a classroom when there are.
Oh, the total program?
Yeah.
I could tell you, but
Just like, that's what
Do
I
they? And are they pretty regular participants to come in to? They are. That's awesome.
yeah, it's many groups, and each group will come, a different group will come each day. It's quite a good program.
So that space has several classrooms, or is it?
It does. There's, I don't know.
There's about 16 classrooms
Are there? Thank you.
that we use on a K-12 program for that. So it is quite an extensive amount of space. Also, we use the outdoor space for recess and other interior space for physical education as well.
You should come by and check it out. I work there also, so I work for the church, but at the same time, it's phenomenal to be able to walk through Apex and watch the classrooms and the things that are going on during the day and how well organized it is and how well run it is. It's a fantastic program, and they're wonderful people to work with also. So, I mean, you should come by when they're out there.
I would love to.
You know,
I
there's a little, just a history, if you'd like, on the homeschooling program. About 9 years ago, we had the students from the St. Vrain Valley geographical area attending homeschool programs, but it was run by the Aurora Public Schools. And so the revenue, which is half of the FTE allocation, or half of the per pupil allocation, was going to Aurora. And I remember receiving a request from their superintendent saying, could you just please sign off on this, because this is what you guys have done every year. And so this was my first year as a superintendent. So I was reading it and saying,
why?
Sign off on it. I said, you want me to sign off on our kids going to school out here and your district getting the revenue? Am I missing something? And they said, well, no, your district's been doing that every year. And I said, well, keyword is they had been doing it every year. And so we changed that. And we started out with a program with a lot fewer students, and it's grown now to 3 sites, the Vine Life down south and Life Bridge and Rocky Mountain Christian. So, and it continues to grow. So it's a really powerful program, and not only for the students, but the connections that it's created for our parent community to be part of, a strong part of our entire system, and it's been really wonderful. Sherry Schumann, who is a former principal in St. Vrain, is currently one of the directors and principals of that program, as is Kim, and they do great work. They do great work.
It speaks loudly to what our district does for our students, to have a successful homeschooling program and to have a successful online program. And I hear the number of students that show up daily for the online school, and it's phenomenal. They're really coming and embracing that culture and becoming their own catalyst to fulfilling their goals, and it's exciting to hear. So thank you.
Well, and it's also, even though we had a good relationship with our faith-based community, it has strengthened that as well in a more formalized partnership. So it's great.
Thank you.
Yeah. Don, any idea how many districts offer that kind of homeschooling program?
Not many anymore. In fact, we've had. There used to be a homeschooling program, obviously, Aurora, no longer, and then Boulder Valley had one, but no longer the way it is, and their children now come to our homeschool programming. And part of it's because of the way in which we're able to support it with space, materials, supply, some really top-notch leadership with Sherry and Kim.
Yeah.
So are we getting half of their FTEs now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I would argue again, it's part of being an exemplary school district.
Yeah, and it would be a big win. To your point, John, it'd be a big win without the revenue, just because of the relationships and our ability to serve our community here. The revenue does help us to create an even stronger program. And I would. Connie's not here, but Connie Seifert started with Kim and Sherry and really did some amazing work, and Diane and her team have followed suit. So it's really a program to be very proud of.
It's exciting.
All right. Any other
Can I ask
questions?
one?
Yeah.
Is, Brian, do we anticipate it moving back to Life Bridge after they've done their construction? Is this temporary or not?
Yeah, we got Plan A and Plan B. Plan A is moved back to Life Bridge. But next year, Rocky Mountain has asked that the Apex program no longer be hosted there. So we're searching for appropriate space for the program.
Talk to Carbon Valley. Their facility has some additional space that tentatively I've talked to Tony just to see if there was an interest there, and he indicated that there would be. We're also looking at other facilities throughout the district, and we're trying to decide, do we purchase one facility just and lease it and then buy it, or do we continue to go back to the churches as they become available?
Was the reason for splitting it geographically? It was easier for the Apex program to facilitate its.
Well, part of it's space, because one church wouldn't necessarily have the ability to accommodate everyone, and part of it is geographic. So it's the proximity is there. a little easier for people. So,
Okay, all right. Well, thanks for that update. That's good discussion. So I take a motion to approve the consent items 6.1 through 6.4
So moved.
by John,
Second.
seconded by Dick. And Emery, would you please call for the vote?
Yes. Mr. Aaron's,
Aye.
Miss Lammers,
Aye.
Dr. Martyr,
Yes.
Miss Pierce,
Aye.
Miss Sechrist,
Aye.
Miss Cisco, aye, and Mr. Smith.
Yes. All right, thank you. And action item 7.1, recommendation to approve change order 1 to construction manager general contractor contract for Erie High school addition and renovation project. Todd's up again.
Here I am. Yes, what I spoke about earlier, this is change order 1 encompasses the actual wing of the school. The first portion of the contract was site preparation and then the installation of the mobiles. So this 12.4 is for the classroom addition and then the front addition. So it's for both the front and back. So that's what they're actually starting. Well, they've started some of it and then they're progressing pretty quickly here in the next month. So that's what this is for.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And this is the work that's going to be completed by the summer
Summer of 18, yes.
18,
Yeah.
because we're in the summer of 17. So
We are, yeah.
No, we're
Yeah.
that's
Within.
behind us.
Yeah, yeah.
We were in the summer of 17.
you know, an interesting concept too is I was visiting with Matt Buckler at Erie High School the other day, and he was sharing with me the atrium where they're going to have a classroom space. It'll be a classroom space designed as a lecture hall where you can have large crowds in there, but you can also run large classrooms consistent with what you might see in a college setting. And then AP classes and others can begin that transition into a college environment. And then that will free up space and opportunities for other programs throughout the rest of the school too. So it's kind of be like a win-win, both sides.
With the growth of Erie, the only question I would be is, are these wings being designed where we can add a second floor to them?
Well, there's already a
Got a
second
second
floor.
floor.
It's
Yeah.
first
Yeah,
and
they
second
all
floor.
second floors. Are they? I'm looking.
Yeah, and this is the project that was moved up beyond the schedule, so really in 18, that entire Erie campus will be then complete with Erie High Edition, K-8, and some town work, so.
So I guess I have to ask for a third floor.
Third floor.
Yes.
There you go.
You have to make sure you don't get that height.
We have a drone class.
There you go.
All right.
So-
And this number, 14033-766, is part of the bond report earlier, the numbers you gave us, right?
Correct,
Just want
yes,
to confirm that, because I saw the numbers and
yes.
like to see that. That's a good one, so this is good to
It
have
is,
that
it's
in there.
included in the Erie feeder number that you'll see in your
Very
packet.
good,
Yeah.
very good. Because I want to be certain because we have the K-8 and plus the Erie High and the other remodel, so it's good for Erie. You don't anticipate any more, do you anticipate any other changes like this for the other high schools that we're working on? We did one before, didn't we? Did do a change order?
So yeah, this is a typical CMGC project.
Right.
So we get the project moving, and that's the first piece of the contract.
Right.
And then we finalize everything, and that's change order 1. So this gives a total project value of 14 million. What's 5 something?
Mhm.
Yeah, about right at 14 million, yeah.
$766
There
and
you
no
go.
cents.
So that's how the CMGC
Right.
contracting works. So every time we bring one of these back to the penny, you'll see two efforts. The first is the initial effort,
Right.
and then the second piece finalizes the whole project.
Do we expect another change order 1 for the other additions at Mead High?
I
Or
believe
did
that-
we already do it?
We already did it.
I thought so.
Yeah.
This looked familiar, I think. I think we've done this, we've done this already for Mead.
We have, yes.
Right.
And was the amount significantly different, or was it in the same?
It was in the same ballpark. Both scopes are really similar. There's a little different scopes, but they were pretty close.
Using the
dollar
same
amount.
design for both?
Besides the front entry or the addition on the front, Meade High did the Energy Academy,
Okay.
where Erie High did the kind of Lyceum
Mhm.
on the front there. So
Oh, okay.
yeah,
We did
We
use the
did a
same
lic-
ed spec.
in
Same
square
ed
footage,
spec,
yeah,
okay.
square footage is very similar as well.
When you're talking about the Lyceum at when Don was mentioning the unique classroom college atmosphere, we did something like that at Longmont High a long time ago with that Lyceum room
Oh, yeah.
in the when we did the new commons at Longmont High. That was that worked out well, I gather, and so I'm glad we're doing some more of them.
Yes, we are.
They're good spaces. Thanks.
All right, if there aren't any other questions, then I'll ask for a motion to approve 7.1
So moved.
by Debbie,
Second.
by Paula, and Emery, would you please call for the vote?
Yes. Right. Mr. Aaron's.
Aye.
Ms. Lammers.
Aye.
Dr. Martyr.
Yes.
Ms. Pierce.
Aye.
Ms. Segrist.
Aye.
Ms. Cisco. Aye. And Mr. Smith.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And so again, tomorrow night, groundbreaking for the Innovation Center. I think September 5th is the first of the community meetings. Those would be in the calendars for anyone who's interested. And then our next regular board meeting will be September 13th. Anything else? All right.
We will have financials next month, September? Will we have financials next month in September, or do we wait?
No, we do it quarterly.
We'll do a quarterly.
Quarterly at the beginning of the year, but we would have maybe a bond, the audit status. We may do one in September, but we'll definitely do one in October in terms
Okay.
of how we performed last year.
Okay, good to know. Thanks, Ben.
All right. Very good. All right. So with that, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn
So moved.
by Emery,
Second.
by Dick, and all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We stand adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, that's all right.
It was an Good job, Tom.